Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Lee Calvin and I will be your instructor for this course. So you are probably wondering, who is this person who's going to be teaching me? So let's dive right in. So I grew up in Minnesota in a town called Raymond. It had 803 people and it was very small in the middle of nowhere. I'm happy to have grown up in a small town life, but I cannot say that I will want to return to such a small town. On the bottom left here, you'll see the endless cornfield. This is what I was surrounded by growing up. Beautiful for a while, enough of it after 18 years. So I started undergrad when I was 15, and I started at a community college, so I was close to home because I was so young, and then eventually I transferred to the University of Minnesota, and I got my degree in health sciences there. I originally thought that I was going to go to medical school, like some of you probably also are aiming for. I went through the entire process and got in, and realized that it wasn't where my heart was, that I wanted to actually do more teaching, more research. And so during the last year of my undergrad, I had worked for Mayo Clinic. And I had done research with two different populations, and I had seen how research could be really diverse, working with people in the field, hands-on, and I really liked the idea that I could make this population impact. So my boss at the time was moving to transfer to the Mayo Clinic in Arizona, and he was starting an initiative on the Tempe campus called Obesity Solutions and asked if I wanted to join him. And of course I said yes. So the day before my undergraduate graduation, I drove down to Arizona from Minnesota, not really knowing what I was about to do or the journey that was ahead of me. So this is kind of the debate then, right? So do I stay in the Arizona summer? Is the Minnesota winter better? And I've come to realize after several summers in Arizona that I would much rather spend a summer here than a full 6 months of negative 20 degrees in Minnesota. So some interesting places that I've traveled to and experiences I've had. I lived in Guatemala. You can see it is the country right here below Mexico. I lived there for quite a while. The picture right here is my town that I lived in. It was called Xela or Quetzaltenango. And this is the street I lived on. I volunteered in an orphanage, and I also taught English, and I helped in a medical clinic. The picture below was a hike right here that I went on to Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. It was a 4-day hike, hiking several tens of miles every day. It was exhausting, but we got to the end and this was our view. So absolutely incredible. I have a huge, huge heart for Guatemala today, and I continue to go back to Guatemala actually once or twice a year. So I'll go back and do volunteer work, and my dad actually will join me on several of the trips, and he owns a construction company, so he'll build things. So the other part of living in Guatemala, I actually backpacked all of Central America. So I started in Guatemala. I went to Belize, I went to Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and then Panama as well. So I did this all by myself, which kind of seems dangerous now thinking about it, but it was a great experience. I got to know several different cultures. I have, like I said, a really passionate love for the people of Central America and the food and the culture. So a really, really great experience. This picture up here of me laying on this rock was when I lived in the woods, quite literally, in the border between Minnesota and Canada. It's called the Boundary Waters. And I lived there for several months without internet, without cable, things that would probably seem a little crazy now since we're so connected. But it was really beautiful being away from technology and having a break and being able to hike. And my job was to do canoe outfitting. So I did that for several months. And this beautiful picture right here of Sydney, Australia. I studied in Australia for one of my courses that I took during my master's program, and just also kind of fell in love, not quite as much as Central America, but fell in love with the people of Australia. We didn't just stay in Sydney, we actually did some work up the coastline with some of the indigenous populations there. So some of my experience I've had have helped me to really develop this deep, deep love for community health. Next is just a few pictures so you get a sense of who I am and what I enjoy. So up here, this just kind of represents I like traveling. I love going to different places and seeing different sites, whether it's a road trip or a weekend trip or a week-long excursion somewhere. So that is at Horseshoe Bend, which is in northern Arizona. The picture next to it here is my love for Minnesota sports teams. So I'm wearing my Wild jersey there, which is the Minnesota hockey team. And then up here, obviously, big Vikings fan to this day. Born and raised. I'm not a fair weather fan, so I'm a huge football fan. And then this sweatshirt represents, and I actually own this sweatshirt and wear it quite often. It just represents my true appreciation and love for the ability to teach students and help students and learn from students and grow with all my students. I learn as much as you guys will learn from me from you. So I learn from all of your experiences, all of your sharing, all of that too. So my passion is really teaching. Right here, this cute, adorable animal is my dog. Her name is Bella. She is 2.5, and in that picture she was in Minnesota in her snowman pajamas. So she is adorable. And then down here, I'm a triathlete. I swim, bike, and run. I'm currently training for the Tempe Half Ironman next November. In this November, I mean. So you can find me in a pool or somewhere biking or running quite often. The picture next to it just showing one of my races. These were actually some of my previous students, and we all had ran a half marathon together. Lastly, right here, this just represents my love for knowledge and education and learning and scholarly inquiry. I have a degree in healthcare innovation, an MBA. My PhD will be in healthcare innovation as well. Just a really love for learning, but both formal and informal. I would say that I gained a lot of informal knowledge from my travel league, my experiences with people, being involved, volunteering, and all of that sort of thing as well. So lastly, keep calm during the semester. I'm a community health teacher, and I'm here to be your advocate and your guide and help you through this course and helping you to understand the concepts. And you are not alone, and feel free to reach out to me with any questions, comments, concerns. If you want to meet in person, that's totally great. If you want to meet online, that's also fine. I'm available, I'm a resource, and I'm accessible for you this semester. So don't hesitate, breathe, relax, and we will get through this semester together. Thank you so much, and I look forward to getting to know all of you during the next several weeks.